Hello everybody, my name's Jamie and I've got Dale here with me, and together we'll be going through 2 of the 7 E affordances. So I'll be explaining what collaborative intelligence is. So collaborative intelligence is where peers offer feedback to each other, whether that be structured or not, but obviously in a classroom setting. There are also available resources that are diverse and open for everybody to use, and contributions from peers, whether it be through, as I said, discussion or feedback, and these are actually documented and also transparent. So all these elements together build strength in collaborating with peers to transmit and share knowledge in order to reach the common goal of achieving learning together. So as I said, some of the forms of this collaborative intelligence may be through discussion, feedback, examples, and also the use of technology. So in a classroom, collaborative intelligence resembles peers communicating. They have to be communicating one way or another, whether that be through technology or just through like, I guess, just normal speaking. There will also be the sharing of resources between peers and students giving and receiving feedback. So to put this into terms of physical education, since that's my major specialisation, I can give 2 examples. So one of them being that for collaborative intelligence, I as the teacher, if I can spot out a student from the best student out of 20 that are performing a particular skill, so say the skill is bowling a cricket ball, if I can see that one student is particularly proficient at that, then I may partner up or get that student to go into a group of 5 or 6 and then perform that skill. And because they're so excellent at performing the skill and the others watching, that's the transmission of knowledge and the collaboration. So there's one example. And there's also, going off of that, after that student has performed the skill and then seen other students try to perform it, that student can then give some feedback, whether that be structured or not. And there's another example of collaborative intelligence. And now I'll pass you on to Dale.
So I was looking at multimodal learning. So multimodal learning in education is basically presenting information to students using more than one mode. So in a school day, you'll come across probably over 100 students, and they're all going to learn slightly differently. So you might want to use a combination of pictures, illustrations, audio, speech, writing and print, music, movement, gestures, facial expressions, and colours are all really good examples. So one way to sort of get your head around it is imagine someone is explaining a new concept to you and you're having trouble understanding that concept. So you have to try and think about what will help them understand it best. So for some people it might be seeing a diagram or an illustration and they can work with that. Other people it might be they want to see an example that represents themselves, or explaining things in further detail verbally, so they might want to be able to ask questions. Seeing a written explanation or connecting a concept to a real life example. So multimodality supports universal design for learning by communicating concepts in the most effective ways to make sure everyone gets what they need from their learning. An example, there's sort of 3 main steps to it, is that you would use multimodal texts. So example, a video might be shown in class that involves captions, images, narrations, music, and examples. Then you could offer multimodal assignments. So you might give the student a choice in how they want to present their understanding back to you. So it could be like we do in this class, a podcast, or we're doing now a YouTube clip. And then you want to provide multimodal feedback. So you want to build a relationship with your learners and find out how they take that feedback on. So for some it might be a discussion, some it might be a rubric. And then, so one example I've seen in the school environment is we allowed students to research a skill, any skill they liked in their sport, and so that was multimodal because they could research it. They might want to go from a textbook or from a YouTube video. Then the assignment was to perform the skill and then give themselves feedback on how they went. So for some students they made their own rubric of how the skill should look. Some made a video and edited and did annotations on the video, and others wrote an assignment on it. And then we provided them with feedback. So for some it was a discussion, some we marked their work and provided written feedback, and others we provided a video for.
Okay, and just adding on to collaborative intelligence, my affordance, I just wanted to also give another example on top of the one that I gave related to PE. Also one where I incorporate e-learning, I guess, in the PE setting. So another example of collaborative intelligence in the PE setting, but with e-learning, is the use of a camera. So I've done it myself, and I've seen it done in schools again. So you could incorporate a camera into the classroom as a piece of technology and get collaborative intelligence through that by the use of something simple like a unit of biomechanics. So as I was explaining before, a student performing the skill. So now you can get that student to perform a skill again, but then have them video recorded, and then you can break that video down further and pick apart parts of the skill where they're lacking or doing really well at, and then just share that to other students, peers, teacher, whatever. And that's just another example of how you can apply, I guess, the concept of e-learning with collaborative intelligence in a PE setting. Do you have anything to add, Dale?
That's it.
That's it. Thanks for that. Cheers.